Right. 7th grade mock STAAR fractions. Do the work in the packet or your booklet and bring it back when we're all done and get a free 100. Okay. Number 1, Mary bought 6 packets tomato seeds. Each packet has 24 seeds. Planted 1, 15 sprouted. Which statement in the remaining packets best supported by this information? Okay, so we're comparing seeds that sprouted to packets. That's proportions. So you can say packets sprouted. So we know when she planted 1 packet, got 15, and then the remaining, she doesn't have 6 anymore. She already used 1. She has 5 remaining, and we don't know how many will sprout from that. So we cross multiply. So 15 times 5 is 75. Divided by 1 is still 75. So she should expect about 75 to sprout. And then we look at our answer choices to see which of these answers is most reasonable. No more than 50 is too few. At least 100 is too much. All 120 makes no sense. That just leaves. Right, number 2. 2 triangles are similar. What is the value of x in centimeters? Again, this is a proportion. So we give them a name and say this little, big. That's our key. And we know x has to be part of the proportion. And this is the side going from top to bottom, straight up and down. So that corresponds to 15. And then we just pick some other pair of corresponding sides. We have 9 and 13.5, or 12 and 18. I like 12 and 18 better because there's no decimals. 12 is on the little, 18 is on the big. And we could even simplify this, but let's not. Keep it just the numbers we have. So we have 18 times 15. 0. 70 divided by the number we just multiplied by, or divided by the number we didn't just multiply by, excuse me. That's 2. 24. 12 goes into 32 times. Ran out of decimals. We had a decimal place 0. And that gives us exactly 22.5. Okay, most things 7th grade, if you get stuck, just make stuff proportion. Alright, number 3. If x equals 14, which equation is true? We just have to work these out. This first one is 3 times 20 minus 14. Okay. 20 minus 14 is 6. So 3 times 6 is 18. That doesn't work. Go to the next one. 3 times 12 minus 14. Well, that's negative 2. So this is definitely not going to work. We'll finish it off anyway. That's negative 6. It's different from positive 6. Okay. The next one. 2 times 14 minus 3. See, 14 minus 3 is 11. 2 times 11 is 22. 22 is the number they got. That looks pretty good. And if we checked our last one, just to be thorough, times 14 minus 3, that's 8 minus 3 is 25. That does not. Okay. So if it gives you one like this, You take whatever the x value is, put it into each equation, and then just try them out. See which one is true. Okay, number 4. This is the first one that was a little bit tricky. What is the area in square feet of the part of the backyard where Shane is allowed to dig? So this is his whole backyard, this big rectangle, but he cannot dig in here. We want this area, and we want this tiny area. Let's start with this rectangle here. Perfect draw. This is 14 feet by 17 feet. Area of a rectangle, base height, 14 times 17. Work that out. That's 28, 40, 138. Right there, that eliminates a couple answers because we know it's going to be more than that. Then we need to figure out this little bitty part here. So we know it's still 17 high, but we need to know the width here. We have 14, 3, and 3. This whole thing here, that's 20 feet, right? And the entire yard is 22 feet. So if we say 22 minus 20, it's 2 remaining. This little piece here has to be 2. We can find the area of that rectangle now. 17. 2 or 2 times 17. That gives us an area of 34. And once we have these two numbers, then we just combine them together. So 238, the big part, plus 34, the little part, gives us answer F. Okay. And I'm willing to bet if you had just done 22 times 17, you would have gotten 374, and you would have got it wrong. Number 5. Sarah ordered 2 eggs, sliced bacon, glass of orange juice for breakfast. Sales tax was 48 cents. She paid for her breakfast with a $10 bill. How much change should she get back? Okay, so we need to figure out how much she spent and then subtract it from $10 to get the change back. Let's see, what did she buy? She got 2 eggs, so we gotta do 169 times 2. 1 bacon, and 1 orange juice, and then she also had 48 cents tax. Okay, so let's do 169 times 2. 3. Okay, so $3.38 on eggs. Everything else we can just the same. She bought 1 bacon, 1 orange juice, plus tax. Add all those up. So that's 17, 26, 34, right? Okay, 6, 10, 14, 4, 5, 6. $6.44. Okay, good. Say good because that's an answer choice, but I'm not going to pick it. This is what she paid. Remember, the question is not what she paid, it's how much change should she get back. We'd say, what is $10 minus the $6.44 that she paid? We borrow all the way through. 10 minus 4 is 6, 9 minus 4 is 5, 9 minus 6 is 3. Get $3.50 left over. Not too bad. Adding and subtracting. Alright, box plot. This is a little tricky because we don't spend too much time on this 7th grade. You gotta remember some words from 6th grade. The range, high minus the low. Also the spread of the data. So it says they are equal. So if they were equal, they should be equally spread out. But if we look, farm X goes from 4 to 35. So 35 minus 4 is 31, right? But farm Y goes from 5 to 30. And 30 minus 5 is 25. Not true. Okay. Then we have the third quartile. And this is the right edge of the box. Remember, it goes minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, maximum. Actually, let's even write that down. Quartile 1. Not a good M. There it is. 3, third quartile, and the maximum. The third quartile is less for farm Y than it is for farm X. So here it is, farm Y is at 27, and then farm X is 24. So that is not true. 27 is more than 24. Go to the next one. The median of the data, so that's this middle point here, is greater for farm Y than it is for farm X. Well, here it is at 18. Oh, that's not a good call. No, I heard that one. There you go. 18 and then 17 here. So it's not much bigger, but farm Y is indeed greater. Looks like a good answer. Check the last one just to be sure. First quartile for farm Y, so that's right here at 12, is greater than quartile here, which is 15. That is not true. Okay. So you just need to remember what the name of these 5 points are. Okay, number 7. Lawrence's father gave him 200 baseball cards each week. Purchases 25 to add to his collection. Which inequality? The number of weeks when he will have more than 750 cards. Let's start with this part. Let's start with more than 750. So on all these answer choices, what is on the left? This is cards he has. And what it wants is for the cards he has to be more than 750. So more than, that's another way of saying greater than. And the greater than symbol is the one that looks like this. So we know that's the symbol we want. That eliminates B. And then the only difference between these two is this says 200 a week and this says 25 a week. So if we go back to our question, and it tells us each week we got 25. So our rate, what should be multiplied by W, should be this 25 here. Because this plus 200 was what his father gave him. This is a one-time event. He doesn't get 200 cards from his father every week. He only gets that one time. That makes D the best answer. Alright. Number 8, tablecloth has radius 2.5 feet. So it's a circular tablecloth, so draw yourself a perfect circle there. Radius is halfway across. And we want to go around the edge, that is circumference. So if we go to our formula chart, it says circumference is pi r, or circumference is pi times diameter. But since we have the radius, that'll be the formula we want to use. Circumference is going to equal 2 times, and pi is 3.14 times 2.5, and we just have to multiply. And I'm actually going to multiply 2 times 2.5 first, because I know that that's just 5. And I don't have to do with so many decimals. Look like a 5, not an S. And then we just got to work out what's 3.145. It is 15.70, which is answer G. Okay, so make sure you use your formula chart. That's what it's there for. Anytime you deal with shapes, go to the formula chart. Alright, number 9. Which of these does not represent the distance a car travels when going 55 miles per hour? We just need to check our graphs and charts here. Which of these is not 55 per hour? This one here it says d is the distance and t is time. So this is literally miles every hour. And that's what the statement was. This one's good. I'm not going to pick that one. Let's see. When it gives us a table, does 1 times 55 equal 55? Yes. Does 1.5 times 55 equal 82.5? Maybe. Let's find out. 1.5, 55, 25, 5, 8. Okay, looks good. 2 times 55 is 110. That's true. And 2.5, this one will work as well. You take my word for that. Okay, so if it gives you a table, you just multiply everything by the rate and see if it works. In 3 hours, we'll travel a distance of 160 miles. So this is just saying, what if we kept this table going to 3? Would this point work? So what is 55 times 3? That is 165. Well, that's not 160, which means that this statement is not true. This looks pretty good. And we can check our table just to be thorough. Here is a 1 hour, a little bit more than 50. You can say that's 55. We said at 2 hours should be at 110. And here it is, a little bit more than 100. That looks pretty good. Okay, so our correct answer there is C. Nice. Alright, number 10. This one was kind of tricky. It's coupled steps here. Doctors recommend drink 3 liters of water every day, 29.6 milliliters in 1 fluid ounce. Which measurement is closest to the number of fluid ounces in 3 liters? We're comparing milliliters to ounces, so we can make a proportion here. So you can say milliliters, 2 ounces, and the rate is 29.6 over 1 equals something. But now the problem here is that what we have is 3 liters, which is not milliliters. So we also need to say, how do we go from milliliters to liters? So if we look on our formula chart, it tells us that there are 1,000 milliliters in every 1 liter, and we want to know how many is that in 3. So we can get this part. Now it's not so bad, because this is just what's times 3 times 3. This is going to be 3,000 milliliters in 3 liters. Put 3,000 up top, X number of ounces. Excuse me. So we cross multiply. So 1 times 3,000 is just 3,000. It's the easy part. We're going to divide that by 29.6. How should we do this? Let's just do regular old work. So let's move the decimal over 1 place. Move this one over 1 place as well. Now we'd say 296 into 30,000. So it cannot go into 3. Can't go into 30, but it'll go into 300 just once. With 4 left over. 4 can't go, or 296 can't go into 40, so 0. But it can go into 400 one time. And this keeps going, but if we look at our answer choices, we can see 101 fluid ounces. Answer choice. Everything okay? Okay. Alright, 11. Tara's got 2 bags of marbles. First bag has 6 red, blah blah blah. Second bag, all that. Randomly selects one from each bag. What is the probability that she will select a blue from each bag? Okay. This is, I don't know, maybe tricky because there's a lot of stuff here. Let's just do this one draw at a time. So the first bag's got 6, 5, and 4. And we know probability is always favorable over possible. So how many outcomes are possible in our first bag? We've got 6 plus 5 plus 4. I guess I could have put the plus correct place. So there are a total of 15 marbles in that bag. Okay? And what's the color showing? Showing us a blue marble. So of those 15, 5 are blue. So that's bag 1, 5 over 15, which simplifies to 1 over 3. We divide both numbers by 5. Okay? Then we go to bag 2. It has 3 red, 2 blue, 4 green. We do the same thing. So 3, 2, and 4 adds up to 9. The second bag has 9 marbles in it, and of those 9, 2 are blue. I can't simplify 9, so I just leave it the way it is. If I want the probability of both of those things happening together, I multiply them. And then to multiply fractions, I go straight across. So 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 9 is 27. What's the probability you get a blue from each bag? 2 out of 20. Probability, you write some fractions, take your time, make sure you count correctly. And then if there's more than one event, you just multiply the individual probabilities together. And number 12, they paid $47 for movie tickets. Each ticket cost the same amount. What was the cost of each ticket in dollars and cents? The easy question for you. If it's 47 for 4 and they're the same cost, how much is 1? So this is a unit rate question, and unit rate means divide. So all you had to do to get this correct was successfully divide 47 by 4. The 4 goes into 4 once. This is 0. Bring the 7 down. 1 again. 3. Have a remainder. So I add a decimal, and a couple zeros. 4 goes into 30 7 times. 28. 2 left over. 1 more 0 to bring down. 4 goes into 20 5 times. Okay? And so when you bubbled it in, how can I draw this? Look at the important parts here. Like, here's your decimal place. As long as you add 75 over here, right, and then 11 over there, that's all you had to bubble in for 1175. If you'd bubbled in these zeros, that would have been okay. All you need is those 4 numbers. Okay, moving on. 2 identical number cubes are shown. The edge lengths of these cubes is 3 centimeters. What is the combined volume of the 2 number cubes in cubic centimeters? The volume means when you look at the formula chart, and it's a cube, it's a prism, more specifically it's a angular prism, and our formula for that is V equals capital BH. Also need to remember that capital B means area of the base. And what shape is the base? A rectangle. Right? So formula for area here is going to just be base times height. But since it's a cube, it makes it a little bit easier because it says that each of our sides is going to be 3. This is just going to be 3 times 3, which gives us an area of 9. Okay. Times the height of the prism, which again, since it's a cube, is also going to be 3, gives us V equals 27 cubic centimeters. And then some of you see that and you pick it and then you get it wrong. Why is that wrong? Because there are two of them. They even drew them for you. 1, 2. Means last step we gotta do 27 times 2 is 54. Let's see, price of video games reduced from $60 to $45. By what percentage was the price reduced? A lot of people, they just do 60 minus 45, they get 15%, and then they circle it, and that's wrong, because you cannot do it, excuse me, quite that easily. That is a good step, though. If we want percentage change, it's a proportion. It's change over the original amount. Okay? And we have dollars on one side, cents on the other. So if we take the difference between them, 60 minus 45 does indeed equal 15. That's not the percentage change, that's the dollar amount change. Okay? And the original price was 60. So 15 over 60 equals what percent out of 100? There's our proportion. Then we multiply, so 15 times 100 is 1500 divided by 60. We can cross off one of these zeros. 6 goes into 15 twice. And 6 goes into 30 5 times. So the price was actually reduced by 25%. So don't get trapped by this. You'll always be able to subtract the two numbers and that answer will always be there. Please don't pick it, because it more than likely will not be right. Okay? Alright, that seems like a good stopping place. We'll come by later and finish the rest of these. Okay, so take a break.